12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment, a righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
Mary! Oh, no! Mary! Hold on! Please, hold on! Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary. Mary. No. No. This horror. It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain! These patrols are after me. No, don't shoot! This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here. This can't be happening. No, please, stop! I mean you no harm. What's going on? Oh, Mary. What have I done? What's all this about? Shit, where'd it go? Now, I can defend myself.
Kill the thing! Where'd it go? Over there!
Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast!
Stay alive!
Sorry.
Stupid beast!
No, please, stop!
Murder! That's what you do with leeches.
Who are you?
There's one of them vermin.
What do you want? I mean you no harm. I need help.
Die, you fucking leech!
Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this.
Shut up, beast!
Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name?
I'll do the rest of the job.
Just leave me. The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide. It's locked. Let me go! I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place? The place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here. Mary! Mary! Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
That's impossible.
Dreams for the Red Queen that sleeps under crown of stone, that she might linger longer, her eyes as white as blood.
Who goes there?
A prayer for the summoned by warring song. A child born from darkness must give scent of his power.
Who's there? Are you referring to me? No! No! I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now!
No! There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live.
And now what?
We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing. No. It never got easy. This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it. Rational thinking only. This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon, contains blinding sunlight into a glowing reflection.
If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Where is it? It's closed.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Here's the leech. Here!
Oh, fuck you! Shoot it!
My
Kill
head's
the belly!
spinning.
Oi! Come out, you coward!
It's locked, all right.
Clever fucking beasts!
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the west.
Die, vermin!
Go back home. There's a strength. A strength I never knew I had.
It's dead, all right.
I cannot enter.
It ain't you! Kill it!
This shouldn't be
That leech is fast!
Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
Back in the grave!
learning the limits of my body.
Monster!
My strength. My reflexes. I'm not human anymore. My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. The dizziness from the jump. I can control it. I have this thirst for blood. What will London have to say to me? I've so many questions unanswered. Very streets of London become a mausoleum. The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant. Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail. At last, a little life.
Welcome, sir, to the Turquoise Turtle.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business, you hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
I think I'm losing my mind. I should just run as far away from this place as I can. Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom, then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog? What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word. Anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who... Who might you be?
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may, if you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor? That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again. Go hunt your shadow.
It's a good thing you cannot see me
It
now,
didn't deserve this.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
Damn it. I think drinking disturbs me.
Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
I think you're hiding something from me.
I hide many things from many people, sir. That's what my job's about.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
It's a good thing you cannot see me now, Mum.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India. Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please, tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes... his face... He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
You best talk to Tom.
Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
I'll leave you to your bottle, then.
I think I'm losing my mind.
You again. What can I do for you?
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Who is he?
William. Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What do you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Poor Jack. He didn't deserve this.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city. a munition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
If the man says bloodsuckers dug in here, you've got one job.
Steady, boys, we've got one of them! Pay for this!
Stay away! This is no place for a gentleman! Look lively! It's on to us! This one's a top!
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
I'll not betray you. I'll need insurance. As one, we shall overcome this. We've done it before.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
We must have more. Oh, dear God. Not again. William, please stop. Just a sip.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
We knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by skull?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed. A surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship is in sync. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. I'm coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming. We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah! It's my turn!
Rotten all-crusty, each heart contains the sweat of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite!
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Whoa, I feel giddy. Did I black out?
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
If only I were young again. Just a dozen years or so.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett's, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Come on, I don't have a... Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide-and-seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. And it's getting worse every day.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I'll bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East
End. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke. And space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire!
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury?
I wasn't disfigured.
Why?
Come on.
Reconstruct.
I don't want to...
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
So do you let her...
And why not?
She could decide to...
And it's another good...
Where were you stationed?
I really...
No offense. I was pushed...
You were an officer, weren't you?
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood. Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory.
You remained perfectly nice.
Thank you, Doctor. That's a
How did you end up in...
I had received alarming news about his recent...
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know...
You dared to end...
I'm just a man trying to help his friends.
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender?
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise?
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are...
What is the general situation?
The situation has always been tough.
Who leads the...
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the
Has the gang...
Ah, no. I've had this nickname.
What do you do for a...
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless.
Are you a
Not at all, Doctor.
Why didn't you use your...
That's a very strange question, Doctor.
Have you made friends?
Not really. But I reckon...
You never came to see her here at...
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor.
How do you feel?
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is...
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Disgust on every street corner.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Good evening, sir.
I don't know if a third opinion...
I see.
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Tell me about...
I'm just a regular guy.
I was more curious...
I'm a carpenter.
Are you
Well, It's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be...
I won't lie.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Doctor?
In other circumstances, you would... Tell me about the doc...
Strickland and Aykroyd.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Oh, sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could get anything from her.
It's locked. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody. So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. It's locked, all right. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. Scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. It's locked, all right.
So many deaths. And still more coming from
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea, I am Thoreau Strickland.
Please, could you tell...
I'm a great admirer of your...
What made you...
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me.
It's always a pleasure to...
This epidemic may be the
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me...
I'm a great admirer.
I based my technique on...
I'd rather not talk about it.
As long as you're cautious and methodical.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced...
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea.
You seem quite
I'm convinced that this epidemic...
Questions remain.
True. Last summer, during...
Do you need help?
Well, yes, maybe.
Do you want me to...
Oh, no, Dr. Reed. But if...
I see. Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe
What is it you'd written?
Fair question.
Tell me, Mr.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied.
But why would he hide?
Because he is a proud father.
This personal involvement could also appear to be...
I agree.
But do you think keeping him...
All I know is that I'm taking care...
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me.
How could your job be
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and...
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr.
Of course I didn't hurt myself.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building work.
What happened? I'm sorry for your loss. So...
I would like to say that she didn't suffer.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about...
Does my arrival...
Let us just say that I don't particularly share...
If you have a problem...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence...
I know we've never met before.
Oh, but I have heard about you.
There is no need for such
That is one point we could agree on.
Since your tenure in this hospital is long...
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me.
Carelessness?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us...
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor.
Modern medical methods were created...
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patient's life.
Are you thinking about...
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the
Why do you wish...
I strongly believe that Mr. Fitt...
I really hope you're right about it.
I'm not the kind of man who runs a...
And are you not afraid...
Rivalry?
I don't know what you've heard of...
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed.
And what exactly...
I served in the war, just like you.
Be careful what you...
I only want you to admit you...
I don't see any reason why I should justify my actions to you.
That's true, Dr. Reed. The only
It seems you have...
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as...
We can at least agree on some... Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
I'm managing a train terminal.
Good evening. I'm...
Always a pleasure to meet
a colleague.
Not anymore, sir. I used...
What do you mean?
No, sir.
Are you afraid?
Why should I? These...
An interesting point of view.
Sir, as a medic during the war... How did you get... After I left the army,
Do you work here?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to...
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the big...
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad...
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights...
A pawnbroker?
Yes, sir.
Who comes here to trade?
I'm very cautious, sir.
What kind?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to...
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must...
Do you think you would enjoy...
I don't think so.
Do you really believe...
As I said, sir, everything decays.
Quite depressing.
Yes.
So you're...
No, I am not.
You're a wise man.
No, Dr. Reed.
Please show me what you...
Of course. It never ceases to amaze me how you... The dead seem peaceful and lost at the same time.
This hospital seems to be falling apart.
Good evening, madam.
It's my son.
I'm Dr. Jonathan.
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Gos...
What can you tell?
Not much to say.
May I ask?
I'm a teacher by profession.
Are you really that rich?
Yes. Thanks.
What do you think of your...
I have had the uttermost
Is there something in particular?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming.
Tell me more about your arrival.
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes.
I share your
I don't expect compensation, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening.
No, I don't want to.
I suppose that this pain is the...
Yes.
Could you at least tell me...
Mortimer.
How painful is...
So painful overall.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient...
Not really.
I see.
Yes, maybe.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized?
My mother just wants the best for me.
Pembroke Hospital may look...
It's not me, you have to...
Is your mother bothering you?
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would...
How painful. I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Yes, Doctor?
Why then
At the Pembroke...
Your dedication to...
We staff get our sleep when we can.
Lack of sleep and the medical...
London's trenches...
Exactly how...
It really depends.
Please...
It's the lot...
That's all for now, no... Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, are you...
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream.
You should be proud of what you've...
Maybe you're right.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
This hospital seems to be falling apart.
My sweet girl.
Good evening, Doctor. Please show... Of course.
It never ceases.
Good evening. Please show me what... Of course.
It never ceases to amaze me how you...
They lack the resources. Brilliant mind in London, Pembroke.
further your agenda, sir. How long's it going to take to
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor.
Duty calls?
Many thanks, Doctor.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir.
And you have my
How
so painful.
Tell me about it.
I don't want to.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
I will not let you down, my boy. I'm so tired. Will this shift never end?
Fear and disgust on every...
Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. A daily routine.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar.
Very well.
Please.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors.
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has...
And you would like me to...
By the stole, of course not. I...
Accepted.
Do you need...
I have just...
Then ask her...
You mentioned...
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of...
Yet you don't...
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries.
That explains your...
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical...
Where do we...
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis.
What do you...
What we need is hope. You were a soldier.
Since you seem quite...
As men of science, our first step...
The sun.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been...
Must I...
You are a vampire. You feed.
The man we pursued and...
He was a Skald, technically speaking.
Where do...
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate...
Just for clarity.
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared.
We'll see each other again soon. Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed,
Have you heard of it?
I have no time.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man.
Why not stop?
Are you mad? I killed them.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night.
Indeed. Allow me to
Apologies.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more...
You must have countless questions, but I rather
Have any of the
These poor souls have so little...
The world would be a better...
You make me blush.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers...
I'm a scientist.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove your...
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent.
These past insufferable weeks.
What are your expectations?
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to...
Who would be so foolish?
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it.
If we're dealing with a...
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all...
Please continue.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame. But
I'll take care of it.
if that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself.
I'll meet that woman.
My life, as others know, is in your hand.
flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
What?
There's no need for alarm.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed.
Please, calm down, madam.
How brave.
Harriet Jones. Indeed.
Oh, better than any patient.
I heard there have been some...
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating...
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be...
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it...
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off, they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them.
Really? Well, if you have...
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear...
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. Miss Jones. Now...
Well...
Have you noticed...
It would be a great deal...
Come now, Miss Jones.
Have you no eyes? This...
Everyone here is very...
Thieves and murderers...
If you could just...
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing...
I see.
No one comes...
I'll come and visit... The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still...
I have some good news, Milton.
What?
I retrieved your...
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my...
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money.
Have you heard of...
There are a lot of secrets...
What kind of...
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed. If you want to know...
Why do you have such a...
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors.
I know, it's a...
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit.
During the war, I witnessed a...
Maybe you're right.
You do realize you could...
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know...
Do you know that nurse...
That's not a surprise.
Does it not, Bob?
Sometimes I think she may be right.
Goodbye, Milton. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper,
Yes? Milton, who?
I have no intention of...
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse.
Is he work?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman.
What steps?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight...
And what about...
For Milton,
If you feel that
on the contrary, my fate...
What can you tell me about the strange...
Let me guess. You spoke with that old...
No matter how you feel...
Who says I don't care for her? Hey,
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
that old witch will end up in hell soon.
What can you...
Let me get...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Liars and thieves every night.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett...
If I had not covered up his error,
You can't allow your emotion...
look around you, Dr. Reed.
Perhaps you did it with the best intention.
You mean you've never made a mistake?
I've decided...
I'm so glad you share my point of view.
I hope you're right.
Dr. Tippett must regain his confidence.
Do you know if...
The people who work here,
Have you seen...
I've never heard...
Goodbye, Nurse.
Please, sir.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir.
How long have...
I can't go there.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers... What can you tell me?
I'm Oswald's bed.
This is a...
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital.
What can you tell...
His name is Oswald Thatcher.
Where was...
He went down by the canal. He did...
I have all the information.
Thank you, Doc.
It's locked.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals. Or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
I want to see the sky, feel the fresh air. I can't breathe.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad...
Okay.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend...
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Now leave the... Are you sure you're...
Yes.
creature is this? Not a lot to check. Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Jesus, I've never seen so many people die at the same time.
Good evening, Mr.
Dr. Reed.
And why?
People who don't sleep at night.
Do you ever think about
the wound he gave?
That man was...
What a surprise. The first time.
What did he want?
I recently acted...
Only the strongest...
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed.
How is your...
This is a shitty place.
What's wrong?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton.
I see.
The nurses aren't too ugly.
What's wrong?
Come on, Dr. Reed.
But you're alive.
What are you expecting, a medal?
How long?
I know this city like the back of my hand.
The police may...
Well, how come you didn't turn me in then?
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox. The flower's dying. It needs water.